thing, you'd probably enjoy a tour of the London silver vaults. Historically, they were used by dealers from Chancery Lane to store stock. Now they're more an underground shopping mall for silverware. We sent Jethro Marles to check them out.
So you're in London, you've got a couple of hours to kill, and you decide to go off in search of that special item of silver you've always wanted. Where do you go? You could try one of those specialist West End shops. Not me. You could go to one of those antique fairs or markets. Not me. Behind this massive vault door is one of London's best kept secrets. The London Silver Vaults. Stephen, just how much silver is there down here?
It's difficult to quantify, but I would guess at around 25 to 30 million pounds worth of silver.
Tell me about the history of the vaults.
The original building was erected in around 1880 as a safe depository, and dealers and also families used to rent them and store their silver in there. Over the decades that followed, those were all taken up by dealers, and they used to bring their customers down to see the silver and jewellery. And they eventually evolved into the shops that you see here now.
How long have you been in business here?
We have been here since 1960. The business was founded by my father and two uncles. And in fact, many of the businesses down here are family businesses, probably 2 or 3 generations old, which is a very good thing, of course, because the knowledge that's been passed down from father to son, mother to daughter is exceptional.
So if someone's coming along, and obviously you've got an awful lot of stock here throughout all of the vaults, what's the smallest amount of money I could spend here?
You could spend as little as £10 on, let's say, a silver teaspoon, which many people buy for christening presents.
And what would be the most expensive?
It's very difficult to say because, of course, we have many dealers down here and they all have their own stocks. But it wouldn't be unheard of to spend as much as 500,000 to £1 million on one piece of silver.
There are so many dealers down here, all in competition with one another, it's a real buyer's market. If the cream jug in one shop isn't quite right or a bit too expensive, try the shop next door. With so much silver to look at, it can be a bit bewildering. So take my advice and befriend 1 or 2 of the dealers and get them to help you sort the wheat from the chaff. Now, Robin, we've known one another for quite a few years now. You are known as the king of cutlery, and you've got every shape, pattern that there could possibly be. What range of patterns do you have here? How many have you got in stock?
Well, I should think we've got about 30 to 35 patterns at any one time in stock, not always the same patterns. But, of course, in English silver, they were traditional patterns, and, you know, they don't vary that much.
So what's new in town? What have you got that's new in stock?
Well, your timing is excellent, Jethro, because I've just acquired this fantastic set. Now, I think it needs some explaining why that is such a fantastic set. Now, this is rare because not only is it so crisp and in perfect condition, but it's also a set for 24 people. 24 people that, although you may not think that there are many people who want that number of place settings, in fact, there are far more than actually the supply would be able to cater for.
It's going to be very expensive.
And of course, it's a hand-forged, beautiful quality set. This is going to retail at about £30,000 for 24 people. It's got lots of serving pieces. I mean, take a look, feel that.
Well, actually, no, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, because, as you say, I mean, if you were to try and buy a new set in solid silver, there must be 350, 400 ounces of silver there.
Absolutely right, yes.
But for somebody perhaps who's only got a few £100 to spend, what else could I look at?
Well, I think if you're looking for a good investment in silver and something pretty and you like the traditional styles, the late Victorian silver from about 1890s through to the Edwardian right up to 1909, they had fabulous quality, they really made it well, and they made very good copies of 18th century silver then, and I'm sure you could find something, sauce boats, cream jugs, something like that.
Have you got anything in stock at the minute?
Yes, I can show you quite a few.
That's a surprise, isn't it?